is the Apparelist podcast, designed to bring you real-life conversation about high-level topics relevant to the decorated apparel community.
What's up, Apparelist family? Cassie Green, Content Director for Apparelist here. Joining me for this one, I've got two fabulous people from Deluxe Screen Printing in Los Angeles, California. We're diving into some bigger pain points that apparel decorators face on a daily basis, specifically looking at the customer experience, handling orders within the shop, all that good stuff. Plus, this team makes sure that their shop is inclusive for everyone, ensuring that no matter the person that walks through the door, everybody feels welcome and taken care of. So more on that to come. But first, let's bring on our fabulous guests. First, we have Elsie Acevedo. She is the owner. Hi, Elsie.
Hi.
Thanks for joining. And then joining her is apparently BFF Chris Slivar. She is the head of operations. Hey, Chris, what's up?
Yes. Hey, Cassie, how's it going?
Good. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Elsie, you and I had the pleasure of being introduced several years ago when I worked at the previous company I was at the time. I just love what your shop stands for. I love what y'all are doing. And then you and I have had some awesome conversations over the last, couple weeks, months?
Yes, we have. and we've always kept in touch, which has been wonderful.
Yes, because, it is wonderful because I love keeping up with what y'all are up to and doing and just like the cool work. I follow you guys on Instagram, cool stuff going on there.
Thank you.
Well, before we get too deep into the conversation, I want to really get a feel for who you are. So, Elsie, perhaps you can start, just kind of share maybe your background in the industry, how long you've been at it, how long have you owned Deluxe, all that good stuff.
Okay, so I started at a very young age. All my life, I guess you could say all my 20s and 30s, I've just been nothing but doing just screen printing. So I've actually worked for screen printing, commercial screen printing companies, all based in Los Angeles. Everybody's in LA. I've learned from these owners of these businesses how it is to work at a screen printing company. I basically had a mentor for 13 years that I worked for, and he basically taught me the ropes on, doing customer service and sales. And he thought, I had a little gift here where I can, just get along with everybody and talk to anybody and just, do sales. And so I kind of fell into it at a very young age. And I've been doing it for very many years, and I love what I do. And I'm not a large shop, I'm a small shop. And like I mentioned before, I'm tiny, but I'm mighty. I'm able to do a lot of orders on our automatic presses. We take small orders and we take large orders, but I've been doing this for years and I love what I do.
Awesome. Chris, how about you? What's your background? What's your story?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I actually got into it through Elsie. So we've known each other for quite a while. And I had a love for screen printing back in high school. It was like one of the electives, but never thought, I can make a career out of it. It was just like, flyers and random t-shirts for event, like whatever. But ran into Elsie and she was showing me like Pellons and stuff like that. And like the light bulb just went off and I was like, oh my God, I never thought about fashion, which I was really, sort of at that point kind of getting into. I got really sick the last year of college. I was going for film production. And so I was on disability when I met Elsie, and it just all kind of came together. Her boss that she was working for took a liking to me and added me to their team. And I've been doing it for like 25 years now. So
yeah, we've been doing it we won't tell you how old we are, but we've been doing it for long, but we look great, don't we?
Yeah. You do look great. I'm jealous. Yeah. We're going to have to reconvene after the episode and you guys can give me your secrets.
Okay.
Yeah. So Elsie and I both worked at a larger, typical commercial screen printing company with like 14 machines and all that. And so but then I transitioned here and I think I've been here maybe like 10 years now in a smaller setting.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been kicking butt together for a long time.
Yeah.
I love that you describe yourselves as like the tiny but mighty, the small but mighty. That is so cool. And I was kind of curious about that. Like, what do you feel specifically makes Deluxe like the tiny but mighty shop?
You want to answer that, Chris?
That term originates from her.
Yeah.
I think I'll just pipe in. She can speak more into it, but I think what it comes down to is that Elsie and I, our backgrounds, we come from immigrant families and stuff like that. And it's just get it done. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like work
Make
together
it
as a
happen.
family. So the team here, we work as like a team. And so like we're a small shop.
Yeah.
We have what, two automatics,
Two
two
manuals,
manuals,
yep.
but you know, the jobs come in and she like never says no. And
Yep.
she says, don't ever say no.
Yeah. Don't ever say
And
no. We could accommodate.
just make it happen. Like, you know, like, I mean, I do sales and, you know, stuff like that, but then like some of us will, you know, get our hands dirty. And if we need an extra hand, we're in there.
Yeah. And
So
so
we're
I
tiny
was
but
last
mighty.
week. Last week, I was actually doing a digital transfer on some Olympic suits like that I have to ship out. So I was actually back there doing it myself, and I actually enjoy getting my hands dirty and doing it myself, as well as Chris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what keeps us.
That's what keeps us young. That's a secret, Kathy.
Oh, okay. So the secret is go find a job at a screen printing shop, and I will.
Yeah.
I'll keep myself young. Got it.
Work with your best friend.
Yeah. And you know what makes it really extra special is that we have like our team here, and we're not it's not a lot of people here, but our team is, you know, here with us many, many hours per day. And so we're like a part-time family. And so what makes it great is that we all, you know, we all get along, we all laugh, we all cry, we do everything together. So we're pretty much a family here. And that's what makes it even better for us, because it's just a great working environment. And we have a strong team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things you said to me, Elsie, and other than the tiny but mighty thing, one of the things you said to me in our conversation sort of leading up to this podcast is you talked about how as apparel decorators, you face just like this multitude of challenges. There's always something. But one of the things that really, you know, stood out to me was you were talking about kind of like that customer experience, like that order taking process. Like, what is it like to actually interact with a customer? Picking up a phone, because so many people these days will not pick up a phone, you know, those sorts of things.
Yeah.
So I would love to chat with you more about that. You know, what do you feel encompasses a positive, successful customer experience?
See, I guess what I feel is I love emailing. That's great. And everybody emails these days, but I also like getting on the phone and answering their questions. There's a lot of times where a lot of people just want to get, you know, their questions answered. And I like to kind of just go directly with whatever it is that they need and answer their questions by, you know, on the phone. I like to describe what it is, you know, we do, what it is we need from the client in order to get the order, you know, processed. So I'm big on talking to them on the phone and explaining the process and kind of going over, you know, what it is that we need in terms of your graphic, in terms of, you know, how many pieces do you need, what color. And so I like to get details of the order. And what was that, Chris?
You know, she gets like, we get real personal, like we personalize it,
yeah.
You know, like.
We do. And the thing is, I think a lot of people, I'm going to just say this, and I mean, you can always, you know, edit it, but a lot of people call me and say, you know what, you're the first person that actually answered our questions on the phone. We've tried to call other screen printers in your location in LA, and a lot of them don't even want to bother picking up the phone and talking to us. And you've been nothing but, or emailing us back or getting back to us. And you're the first person that actually picked up the phone and answered my questions. And I really appreciate, you know, these people say, I really appreciate the time you took to talk to us and to explain to us what it is we need to provide you to get started on an order.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pipe in. I think that's, you know, for most people, they're not even familiar with screen printing. So,
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
it's like, we take it for granted. And I think a lot of people, or I mean, we, not us personally, but like, you know, we can take it for, for granted.
Yeah.
And forget that like people don't know the information. It's so technical. There's a lot of details.
Yep.
You know, so I think we keep that in mind. And when we can sense that, you know, it's just getting to know the client. Like, you know, we sense that and we're like, you know, let's pick up the phone, let's talk.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things like, do you need a base? And then, you know, all those random little things that they don't know what that means. So we have to like
explain it to them.
Explain, like run it through and talk to them. And it's, you know, it's also, it's just makes that whole process just, you know, like smoother.
Yeah, it's just smoother.
Well, it probably helps you internally too, with communicating with your team, all the details and making sure that the operations behind the scenes run smoothly.
Yeah. And we have a process that we follow, which is, you know, something that the guys need in the back when we go to print. So we do have our process that, you know, we have to, you know, when an order comes in, we have to do a process, and we do CADs and Pantones and screens and all of it. I mean, there's so much involved, you know?
Yeah, I would imagine one of the things that comes to mind is like there's so much involved from the start to the finish. Like
Yep.
it is soup to nuts, lots of details, lots of things. So how do you make sure you instill that mindset, that process into the culture, like the entire culture at Deluxe?
Okay, that's a good one. How do we do that, Chris? Cut. We got to do an edit. How do we do that? Well, I mean, it's basically communication. Like we have a checks and balances. That's true, Chris. You have a good point. We have checks and balances here. So there's so much involved with an order. Like somebody can order 100 shirts, white ink on, on navy t-shirts, right? But then there's somebody that can order a 6-color design and a 3-color print on the sleeve, and then a 1-color print on the back. So there's a lot of detail involved in every order is different. So I feel like the way we process our orders, there's a lot of communication, there's a lot of paperwork, there's a lot of information that my team needs that we have to provide them. So we give that to them, right, Chris?
Okay, I don't like that.
Yeah, okay. She's gonna edit it.
It's
Okay.
too big.
Yeah, okay. So go ahead. You can jump in. Let
No,
Chris jump in.
Well, what was it? Well, just what was this
Repeat the question, Cassie.
Sure, I can repeat the question.
Okay.
So it's more of like, you have this really important mindset from start to finish that you do need to interact with the customer. You need
Yep.
to provide this amazing experience on the front end, but that also carries internally through your whole process, right? And in the information that you communicate to your team. So how do you make sure that mindset, that approach to making sure the experience is great from start to finish, how do you implement that into your team at Deluxe?
Sure. So, I mean,
Okay.
I think it is, checks and balances. It's
Yeah.
like, knowing that we have to send a work order form, our print policy,
Mhm.
we have a free ink color chart, and just like, in our heads and our checklists in our minds, like, okay, we need to give that to them, right? Then they fill that out. We make sure that everything is filled out correctly.
Mhm.
And then that gets passed on to our art department. So we have to do our work up front as salespeople.
Yep.
To make sure that all the information is there. Then it gets passed on to the art department. Then they have to interpret it, right? And
Yep.
then we go through a whole approval process that's implemented into an internal CAD with all the information as well. And then it goes back to our production department.
And then we
so,
schedule for printing.
yeah, then we schedule for printing. So everything down the line has to match. I mean, it does start with sales and like getting all the information correct.
And then
you
it
know?
just moves down the line with the art department and the screen
Screen
department and then the printing department. And then Chris and I oversee she oversees the operations, and basically we do a lot of, quality control. Like when we're printing, we have to make sure we actually approve when something's on the machine. We literally have to approve everything on the press in person and make sure
Yeah.
the colors look good, the placement looks good, and we're ready to go.
And that matches the CAD, the internal paperwork that's, that our clients have approved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that goes along with that mindset you were saying earlier about how you actually get in there and get your hands dirty. You're not just like taking like that back seat. Like you guys sound like you're very involved with the entire process.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And we love to be involved, Cassie. We do.
Yeah. I think that's a great leadership mentality because it probably shows your employees like how much you care about them and taking care of your customers and the orders. Right.
Yeah, no, we do. I mean, I think we're known for our quality here.
And for caring.
And for caring. Yeah. No, I mean, it's a big point that a lot of people point out about us is that, I mean, I'm not trying to bash any other printers, but this is just, comments that we've heard is that, because sometimes, these clients are not professionals or whatever, they don't know color, like sometimes what colors work and stuff like that. And then they might approve something and then,
Yeah.
you get it to the back and we're using the Pantone that they approved and, the color choice that they've made and it gets on there and it's just not working and it doesn't look good, whether
Yeah.
it's fighting the fabric color or it just looks terrible. I know some
You
other-
stop and you call them.
well,
know?
we'll take the time and be like, this doesn't look good, and really, that's our
Right.
opinion, but we will advise the client like, hey, like, I think you should take a second look at this because on the monitor, it looks one way, but in person,
It looks different.
it looks different.
Yeah.
So I think that that's where we take the extra care to do that, where, you know, we've heard that some other printers that they will just, you know, I've got an approval.
Just print
I'm
it,
just
run
print it.
it.
Let's, you know, let's
Just
get it
move
out the
on to
door.
the next order, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that's what sets us apart, Cassie, is that we care. And if we see something that doesn't look right, we'll stop the machine. We'll actually take a picture, send it to the client and say, listen, we think you should go like a 2 shades lighter. Can you give us the liberty to do that? And if they say, yes, go for it, then we do it. You know, and that's what sets us apart from other screen printers.
Yeah.
Because we take pride in what our work and what we do.
Yeah, so I have like, for instance, I have a client that was more local here, and then she moved to like Utah, and
Mhm.
she's remained with us because she knows that nobody else will take care of her stuff like we do. And like she's paying LA prices though, we're,
Yeah.
living in Utah, which she could,
Easily find somebody there.
Somebody there, but she knows how on top of it that like I am, and we are so, picky about that. And so,
I mean,
that's.
we are pretty intense, Cassie. Like if we don't like something on the print, we're gonna stop the machine and fix it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is such a point that has stood out to me about your shop over the years that I've familiarized myself with what you do. And it's just so cool to see printers with such passion, right?
Yeah.
That they care that much about their customers. And wow, a customer in Utah still
Yeah.
using you all. I think
Yeah.
that is just like a huge testament to how important it is to create that experience for your customer, to show them that you care and not
Yeah.
just taking their money, like you care about their final product and it looking good.
Yeah, and
we
that's
do.
what our goal is, just to keep our customers happy and just have repeat business.
Yeah, I mean, and it goes beyond just the quality. I mean, there's some clients that we have that are startup companies that will, want to start off like with 100 units, and they've never put it, they've never even started an e-commerce, whatever. And we have low minimums.
We're like, no, start with
have-
25.
Yeah, start like maybe we should start with 25, let's see how it goes. And they're real appreciative, because I mean, money's hard these days, right?
Yeah.
And then that just, taking that time, that care, that concern really, I think, down the line, once like we've made a connection with these people and then they're building it, they become so, they rely on us.
Yeah.
And it grows even bigger. We start to have like a relationship with them.
And that's what we love. We love to build relationships with customers because we just want them to be happy, and then they grow in their business, and then they help us grow in our business because they're selling their product. And that's what the point is for us to help them get out there and sell their product.
Yeah. And then it goes beyond that as well. If they're happy, then they have friends that's,
We get referrals.
yeah. So there's connections that go beyond that. And without even thinking, it often turns out that way, where they're like, hey, we'll get around.
Call the girls at Deluxe.
Yeah.
Check out the girls. They have low minimums. Call them.
Yeah. So this, it's like, it just, it goes way beyond that, just like that one time.
Yeah.
So taking that extra bit of time does really help in the big picture.
Yeah. Sorry that we keep going on, Cassie. I'm sure
I want you to talk forever and ever because this is amazing. I love hearing this. I love hearing what you're about. Like,
yeah. Tell your friends about us.
Right. That's why we're doing the podcast. We're going to tell all your friends, all the friends, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things, not shifting gears, but sort of shifting gears. One of the things that really excites me about your business, and actually, in my opinion, goes very much hand in hand with the customer experience, is your stance and work within the LGBTQ plus community. Elsie, you had shared this amazing story with me about a customer within this community that had a bad experience with another decorator and then came to you. I don't know if you want to share that story with our listeners, but it really resonated with me. And I would love for you to share that because I think, again, it's a testament to how much you all care about people.
Yeah, we do. So I had a customer come in, he's trans, and basically he found us online. He came in and he was the sweetest person. And, I just told him, have a seat. Let's take a look at what you need. And basically he was really taken back at how, welcoming we were, how nice we were. And he said to me that he had gone to another printer, also LA based, and said that, they were not the most welcoming. They weren't very nice to him. He was very, uncomfortable, and he felt their energy. And he just said, this place isn't for me. And, what I think sets us apart is we, like you mentioned, we welcome all walks of life. And so his experience there wasn't so pleasant. And when he came here, he was so happy, and we printed some of his stuff, and he said, God, you guys are amazing. I'm so happy that I found you. I feel so at home. And I said, I'm glad that you feel that way, because this is how we want our customers to feel. And so basically, I'm glad that he was able to come here and feel comfortable and just be, just feel like himself, like be himself and be good. And so that's what I feel is important, is to welcome everybody. Ready? Everybody, right, Chris?
Yeah.
And so she and I just, we work with everybody. It doesn't matter what color you are, what color you bleed, none of it. Just, we want to work with you regardless of your gender,
Yeah. I mean, I think another thing, if we can bring this up, is that Elsie and I are also both part of the LGBTQ community. We are also, we're both also Hispanic.
Yeah.
So, we do, we understand people's needs, and we do, understand what it feels like to need that safety.
Yeah,
and to
exactly.
feel welcomed, and, so that we do provide that. So the minute you walk in, it's like, we've got you.
Yeah, we've got you.
And, not to bash other printers, but, it's been, it's kind of like a male dominated industry in some ways, so.
Yeah, it is.
So I can't say that, like, when we kind of first started, there wasn't very many women that owned businesses here. So we were like probably one of the first in LA. There's more now.
Yeah.
But that has been something that we've been able to provide, like, within our community or the area, that
Feel welcome.
to feel welcomed, like,
And
that,
to feel safe.
yeah, like to feel safe, and we get a lot of women here. We've get like the
Trans
LGBTQ,
community, the trans community. Yeah.
So it's just been amazing to be able to work within our community and to provide this. And it's just been great. It's been great. And and like to actually feel that people like have this like sense of like coming in and just feeling welcomed and good.
Feel good.
It's just it's quite an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
To be able to provide that.
And then we establish these relationships with them, and then we become friends with them and go have cocktails.
Oh, y'all, I'm getting goosebumps. Like, it's so cool. Like, I love this. I love that feeling. I can just feel your passion.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I can feel like that welcomeness. I mean, you talk about this is important. Inclusivity is crucial in our community, not just from a human kindness standpoint, but from a business standpoint. And you all have such an amazing grasp on that. And I just love that piece of your business.
Thank you, Cassie.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
If you could offer advice to other shops or what have you, how would you say other shops, other business owners, other decorators, how can they create a positive, inclusive customer experience within their shops? Like, what are some things that they could try or practice?
Sure. I think it's really important to pull from within your community. Hire young kids, hire the underprivileged, and to make sure that your shop is diverse.
Yeah.
That when you walk in, that there are similar faces.
Yeah.
That there are people that understand one another. Like in our area, we are in Los Angeles, so we're also bilingual. I think that just makes for a real well-rounded shop.
Yeah. And also, Cassie, I want to jump in, not to interrupt Chris, but I think it's really important too, Cassie, that, I mean, these people, okay, this is a business, right? You're a screen printing business. If these people are, inquiring about like, okay, how do I place an order? Like, make sure you have a good, customer service, because that's the key there. You have to take care of this client that's inquiring about printing with you. So, be patient and reply to the emails, get back to people. I think that's so important, because I keep hearing this a lot. here in LA that a lot of people don't reply back in their emails or don't call them back or don't, answer their questions. And I think that's so important, is that that's the whole purpose. Is you're running a business, get back to the people who are inquiring about, placing an order with you,
That seems like a really simple concept, but
Yeah.
interesting that so many people do not practice that.
I don't get it. I really don't. I don't get it. I love talking to people and holding their hand and just kind of helping them out, answering their questions,
Yeah.
right? Yep.
Okay, so we like to keep our episodes sort of short and sweet. So we're going to wrap for today. However,
Okay.
I really want to explore doing some future episodes
Okay.
with the girls at Deluxe, as you lovingly say. So we'll have to do this again. We'll arrange some time. But in the meantime, before we do that, where does our audience, where do our listeners go to connect with you, to learn more about Deluxe, all that good stuff?
You mean I can say my website?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? It's
Yep.
deluxescreenprinting.net. There's an E after the X.
There you go.
And you can also find us on Instagram
Yep.
at Deluxe Screen Printing.
Yep.
Love it. And of course, call you, right?
Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
And my phone number is 213-765-0838. Ask for Elsie.
That's what I got to do. And I had the pleasure of having great conversations. So seriously, guys.
All right. Thanks, Cassie.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure.
Of course, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. Again, a Perilous Podcast listeners, please visit deluxescreenprinting.net to learn more. You can also visit apparelist.com to listen to previous episodes and learn more about the apparel decorating community. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Elsie.
Thank you, Cassie.